Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are tackling creatine. And let's be real, it's probably one of the most effective supplements on the planet, but it's also one of the most misunderstood. It seems like everyone has an opinion, usually based on some gym myth they heard years ago. Well, today we're going to cut right through all that noise and look at what the latest science actually has to say. So let's get into it. So let me just start with this question. What if the one supplement that gets the absolute worst rap is actually the one with the most solid science backing it up? That's what we're here to find out. We are going to become mythbusters for the next few minutes and get straight to the facts. All right, so first things first, how does this stuff actually work inside your body? It's not magic, I promise. It's just some really cool biochemistry, and I'm going to break it down so it's super simple to understand. Okay, to get creatine, you first have to understand something called ATP. Think of ATP as the direct fuel for your muscles. Every single time you jump, lift, or sprint, you're spending ATP. It's like the cash in your body's wallet. But here's the catch. Your body only keeps a few seconds worth of this high-octane fuel on hand at any given time. And this is where creatine comes in and saves the day. If your ATP is a tiny battery that drains super fast, creatine is the portable supercharger that plugs in and refills it, almost instantly. It rapidly recycles that spent energy back into fresh, usable ATP, which lets you grind out that extra rep or finish that last sprint strong. It is your body's immediate backup power generator. Now, here's a little wow fact for you. We think of creatine as this modern-day gym thing, right? Well, get this. Scientific estimates suggest that our prehistoric ancestors ate diets that gave them 5 to 10 times more creatine than we get today. So supplementing with it isn't really adding something foreign to our bodies. It's more like we're just getting back to our natural baseline. All right, time for the main event. Let's tackle those myths head on. We're going to let modern, high-quality science do all the talking and put some of these old, tired fears about creatine to bed for good. This is the big one, the myth you hear absolutely everywhere, that taking this simple supplement is somehow going to destroy your kidneys. It's been floating around for decades, but what does the brand new, up-to-date evidence actually show? Let's be perfectly clear. For healthy individuals, creatine is safe for your kidneys. The science on this is overwhelming. A massive 2025 review that looked at all the best studies confirmed it. Zero negative impact. This myth got started because creatine can slightly raise a blood marker called creatinine. But in this case, it's just a harmless side effect of having more creatine in your system. It is not a sign of damage. Okay, myth number 2. The dreaded creatine bloat. This is probably the #1 reason people, especially women, are a little hesitant to try it. Nobody wants to feel puffy or soft, but here's the thing. There's a huge misunderstanding about where that water actually goes. So, here's the crucial detail everyone misses. There are 2 kinds of water retention. The puffy feeling everyone hates comes from water held outside the muscle cells, under your skin. But creatine does the exact opposite. It pulls water inside your muscle cells. And that's a good thing. It hydrates your muscles, improves their performance, and gives them a fuller, more athletic look, not a puffy one. You've probably heard this one before. The idea that when you start creatine, you have to slam like 20 grams a day for a week. This is what people call a loading phase. But is it actually necessary? Well, the science says not really. Look, a loading phase will get your muscles full of creatine faster, maybe in about a week. But just taking a simple 3 to 5 gram dose every day will get you to the exact same point in about 3 or 4 weeks. The slower approach is just as effective in the long run, and it helps you avoid the stomach issues that some people get from taking huge doses. A little patience goes a long way. Okay, this one is just, wow. It's by far the most damaging and most ridiculously false myth out there. So let's be absolutely 100% crystal clear on this. Creatine has absolutely nothing to do with anabolic steroids, period. It's a natural compound made from amino acids. You find it in food like red meat and fish. It doesn't mess with your hormones. In fact, the FDA has given creatine monohydrate its generally recognized as safe stamp of approval. It is legal, it is safe, and it is not a steroid. End of story. Okay, so you're on board. You know it's safe, you know the myths are busted. But then you go to buy some and you're hit with a wall of options. HCl, buffered, nitrate, it's really confusing. So which one should you actually spend your money on? Look, you're going to see all these flashy, expensive forms of creatine that make big claims about being superior. But when you ignore the marketing and just look at the mountain of scientific research, the answer is so clear. Simple, old school creatine monohydrate is still the king. It's the most studied, the most proven, and it's also the cheapest. The other stuff is mostly just clever marketing. You're paying more for a fancy label, not better results. Just stick with the gold standard.
For the longest time, everyone just thought of creatine as a supplement for bodybuilders trying to get huge. But the research that's come out in recent years has completely blown that idea out of the water. Turns out, the benefits go way beyond just building muscle. So who can benefit? Well, yeah, athletes for sure, but the research is showing so much more. For older adults, it's a powerful weapon against age-related muscle loss, helping them stay strong and independent. For women, emerging research shows it can be a huge support during major life stages like pregnancy and menopause. For vegetarians and vegans, since they don't get much from their diet, it's an absolute game changer. And maybe the most exciting new frontier is brain health. Your brain uses a ton of energy, and creatine's ability to boost that ATP energy currency might help with memory, focus, and even mood.
So you're ready to start. How do you do it? It could not be simpler. Step 1, take 3 to 5 grams of creatine monohydrate every day. Step 2, be consistent. That's the real key. Take it on your workout days, take it on your rest days, every day. And step 3, just mix it with water, juice, whatever you want. Timing doesn't really matter that much, just get it in. That's it. It's that easy. So after all that, after busting the myths and looking at the very latest science, here is the bottom line. Creatine is not hype. It is not dangerous. It is, without a doubt, one of the safest, cheapest, and most powerfully effective supplements you can possibly take to improve not just how you perform in the gym, but your overall health and well-being. But now, I really want to hear from you. Do you take creatine? What's your experience been? Or maybe one of these myths was holding you back. Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. Thanks for watching.